First tab that we're going to look at is the Contacts tab. As you can see on the Contacts tab, there are a number of drop-down menu options. The one we're going to select first is View All Contacts. When we select View All Contacts, we will actually see a list of every single contact that is available to us in the system across all of our lists. It's not a list-specific view, it's all your contacts. The second thing that we're going to look at doing is searching for a specific contact. So we select Search Contacts from the drop-down. We can either search for contacts across all of our lists, or we can select a specific list. In this case, we're selecting Test List. Click Next. And here we have some options to search. We can search for a contact by any of the custom field data that might be associated with that list, or we can search for an email address. In this case, we're searching for admin@interact.com.au, and here is the contact we've just found. We can view, edit, or delete that contact. Here we are viewing the contact, and as you can see, we found the contact that we wanted to find, admin@interact.com.au. The next thing we're going to look at is adding a contact. So select Add a Contact. Select the list that you'd like to add the contact to from the options that we have presented to us. Then what we do is we put in the email address for that particular contact. In this case, we're going to put in Test. First name is going to be Test, and so is the surname. We can then add any other data that we have associated for that particular list. In this case, we're going to add a mobile phone number. If we wanted to add the address details, etc., we could do so here. So we click Save. As you can see, the new contact's been added to our list. Now if we choose to search for that particular contact, in this case we're going to search just for all contacts in the test list. We can see that the new test contact's been added to the list. We're now going to look at importing contacts from a file. So we click Import Contacts from a File using the drop-down. We select the list that we'd like to import our contacts to. Click Next. And now we're presented with a number of different options. What we need to do, in fact, is import a CSV file. So we have an option to overwrite the data for existing contacts. What that means is that, for example, if we've got new address details in our import list and a contact already exists in the list, when we import the contact, the address details will actually be appended to the existing contact. In this case, our file does contain headers. That means we've got first name, surname, email address, for example, as headers in our list. That's the heading of each column. Here we can see the field separator is CSV. So now we're going to choose our file that we need to import. If we can just find it, it's the bottom one. It says Video Tutorials. There it is. Select the CSV file and click Next. Here we're presented with some options to map the fields in the list with the fields in the import file that we're importing. So in this case, name is first name, surname is last name, email address will be email address, and we don't have company in our import list, so we can just select none at this stage. Click Next, and then click Start Importing, and we get a message showing us that one contact was imported successfully. We also get a message showing us which contacts were not imported correctly, if there are any duplicates, etc. The reason there was only one contact imported is because we only have one contact in our import list. The next thing we're going to do is show you how to search for a contact. We're just going to have a look at the contact that we just imported. So again, we're searching for all contacts in that list, and we can see we've got a new contact that's been imported. That's bob@test.com. We can see the date that Bob was imported and the time. The next thing we're going to do is have a look at exporting contacts. Again, we choose export contacts from the drop down. We select the list that we would like to export. Click the next button. And now we get to select which fields we would like to export for that particular contact. We get to choose whether we want a CSV file. CSV file is always best here. We click next, and we get a link that says start exporting, and then all we do is click the link that says click here to download the export file, and our contacts will be exported. The next thing we're going to look at is removing contacts. So again, we click remove contacts, select the list we would like to remove the contacts from. Then we get presented with a few options that we can either type in the contacts we'd like to remove, or we can actually upload a list of contacts that we'd like to remove. So for example, if we had 20 people who are unsubscribed and we wanted to just do that in a quick and easy fashion, we could use the remove contacts function, have the setting to mark contacts as unsubscribed, and then we could use the import functionality to do that. It's pretty self-explanatory. In this case, we're going to do a manual removal, and we're just going to remove that contact permanently. So we're going to choose admin@interact.com.au and remove that contact permanently from the selected list. Click next. Are you sure you want to remove? Yes, I am. And one email was removed from the list. We search for that contact in the test list. We can see that admin@interact.com.au is no longer a member of our list entitled test list. The final item on the drop down is suppress an email or domain. This enables us to ensure that if there's a particular domain or email address that we just do not want to email at all, we might have had a complaint, we might have had just someone that we don't want to email, such as a competitor. So we can then add to the suppression list the domain or the specific email address that we want to suppress. So again, we select the list that we would like to suppress the contact from. Then we choose, I would like to type that in manually. So we type in the domain, keeping in mind that preceding the, if we would like to suppress a whole domain, for example test.com, as you can see in the little search tip there, you need to have the @ symbol in front of the domain, and you can see one email has been suppressed. That is the end of our video on the contacts tab within Interact EDM email marketing system.